Yo, so I decided on a whim to make another video, um, talking about something else that's been going on, in Super. Um, I mean, this is just one of the few numerous problems I have with Super and like the fans. Some of the fans, kind of, sort of excusing and then not really, but kind of just like not really meeting the criticism of Super or some aspects of Super with any valid counter arguments. Um, uh, you know, um, man, I have so many things I want to say about it, but I'm just gonna do it one at a time. The focus of this one is, for those of you who don't know, if I remember correctly, it was LaughingStockMedia who made a video on whether not Kale, excuse me, Cauliflower's Super Saiyan transformation ruined like the transformation of Super Saiyan. And so I didn't actually watch the video yet. I scrolled down to see what a lot of people were saying, because sometimes, I don't know, it interests me a lot to see what people have to say in comments rather than watching videos. I mean, it's whatever. I'll go watch it one of these, and sooner or later. But I want to see. Well, it's easy. I guess it's easier to read a bunch of comments at once, in one sitting, rather than watch a whole video. But I'll go back and watch it one at a time, sooner or later. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. A lot of the comments I was saying. No, it wasn't everyone, but there are a lot, saying pretty much like, Cauliflower is not the one who ruined it. That it was like Goten and Trunks. They were the first ones to ruin it. Interestingly enough, I saw someone saying Vegeta ruined it. That was funny, and I get the point behind that. But this whole Goten and Trunks thing, I've seen this before, and I have to point this out. I actually got in an argument with someone about this one time. Here's the thing. Okay, yes, Goten and Trunks achieving that transformation is questionable at best, and I guess at worst, it's also kind of like bullshit and a plot hole and problematic. And I get that. By the way, it was never really explained. I mean, Goten got that one flashback in the end of the show, but okay, like, it still doesn't really it doesn't meet the previously established requirements. I'm going to get into that exactly. This is what I made this video about to point out, but it doesn't meet previously established requirements. Now, basically, what people are saying, they don't always spell it out, but the fact that they even mention this, is to point out that a lot of people in Super were complaining about this recent thing with Cauliflower and maybe even Kale, maybe even Kaba. I think seen some people complain about that, but they overlook, or they don't complain about Goten and Trunks, or they think it's fine. First of all, well, assuming that everyone thinks that, which clearly not everyone does, one, it's still a problem because, okay, in each of those cases, Goten, Trunks, and Cauliflower, they break the rules. They contradict or break rules of previously established rules in universe. Now, here's the problem: it ruins the consistency. Even if Goten and Trunks did it, it's not fine that she did it. She does it, and this is like what, maybe 20 years or so or less later. Like, okay, you're making a new series, and then you're just gonna contradict rules previously established in the series just prior, and not even chronologically prior, considering that Super falls in between one part of Z and another part. It might be just between the last arc and the very end of the series, but it's still in between. So therefore, we should expect it to follow the same rules, and it doesn't. But yeah, so second, the fact that Goten and Trunks do this. Here's the thing. There still wasn't really to this day hasn't really been a clear explanation in universe. There's been a lot of theories being thrown out there, but those are headcanon by the fans. In universe, there's no clear explanation as to why they did this, and while that is a problem, here's the thing. If you bring those two, like, compare it to the majority of other characters who, like, main characters who have reached that level, they're anomalies. They're outliers in in what's considered to be the norm. The norm is the rule that I will get into, and vice versa. The rule being that to achieve the transformation for the first time, you were supposed to, it comes from a need, not a desire, has been said. But you're basically supposed to be awakened by rage. You're supposed to be some sort of huge emotional turmoil, usually rage, that brings that power forth. There may be some other conditions surrounding it, like you must have a high enough power level or something. I'm not really sure how true that's actually ever been. But the primary condition is you're supposed to be pushed to an emotional you blink and emotional limit, and you get enraged and you reach that power level. Right now, Goten and Trunks have not really been shown to have done this. I wouldn't call Goten's transformation rage induced. Like, I would, during that flashback, I wouldn't call it that. But hence why I call them anomalies, right? Considering the fact that most of the main characters have followed that rule. Goku did, Vegeta did, Gohan did, and Future Trunks did. So they have followed the rule or the norm. Goten and Trunks are outliers. I'm not going to pretend I have a perfect understanding of statistics or anything, but as far as I've understood, looking from, or any sort of, and you're doing any sort of like scientific or mathematical research, it's not uncommon to have outliers, when you're dealing with a trend or a norm. There's still a norm in place. Just because a couple characters broke that rule doesn't mean that the rule doesn't exist. Now, the problem with Caulifla is, her whole transformation just, like, it completely just, it was achieved, like, out of nowhere through some rule that came out of nowhere. It was completely out of left field. And it completely contradicts, and there's no real, not even necessarily, you have to be reaching to find even some sort of vague connection to previously established rule. There was no mention of rage or anything. It's just, a tingly feeling in your back. And it's like, well, why does that make sense? Why is that a thing? That wasn't really explained. It was just kind of like thrown in there like a throwaway line. That's super. I've noticed has done this a lot, especially recently. Just throwaway lines to just kind of just like give us some sort of like quick, in-universe explanation so that we can just kind of take it and move on. Like, it's like, no, but that's problematic because you're not really telling us anything. Yeah, so it's like she doesn't get mad, or she doesn't get like enraged as we've seen before with most of the main characters. There's no emotional turmoil. It's just, a tingly feeling, and then boom. It's like, okay, well, that's weird. So it's not, for me, it's not the fact that she done this through an entirely different method. There's a different rule in place. It's the fact that as of now, there's no clear relation to previously established rules that it should be following, because it falls within Z, within Z time, like chronologically, so it should be following Z's rules. But there's no clear relation. So it's like, well, why is this a thing? We have to understand. We have to figure out whether there's a relation or not. Otherwise, it's just kind of like, well, what the fuck? Where did this come from? There's no clear relation, so it doesn't seem to make much sense. If it was explained, in a way that made sense, that it was an entirely new rule and that there was no need for them, or not necessarily, they didn't necessarily need to follow that rule anymore, to achieve the power level for the first time, then I can accept it. But there was no explanation. It just kind of happened. We were just kind of told, oh, you can do it this way, and then, oh, bam, it happened. How does that relate to anything else we've seen before? Right now it kind of falls under like lazy convenience, like a lazy writing just to kind of give her power up for convenience for the tournament. It's like, okay, there's no other way for me to see it. Like the fact that she achieved Super Saiyan 2 also confirms this. Like, how the fuck did she? What? How the fuck did she even do that? Oh crap! And that's something I forgot to mention. I saw episode 100 a few hours, like an hour ago or two. Yeah, I have a problem with that too. Not well, the Super Saiyan 2 thing, yes, but I mean, I forgot. She went all freaking Hulk, hulked out. What was it? Like almost Ultra Super Saiyan-ish. And I'm thinking, when did she learn to do that? And she had less than 48 hours to achieve any of this. When I'm just Super Saiyan alone was a stretch. Super Saiyan 2 was like, well, that's kind of bullshit. There's no, how the hell did she even do that? Now you're throwing in the fact that she went Ultra. Forget even the fact that it was totally useless and she shouldn't have done it in the first place. She just kind of ended up looking like a dumbass. She didn't experience, so I guess it's reasonable for her to kind of have, like, it kind of makes sense that she didn't, and she realized she fucked up. But I mean, how does she even know how to do that? She had less than 48. How did she? What? No, the other two characters hadn't figured out how to do, from their universe, hadn't figured out how to do that shit. How does she know how to do that all of a sudden? They're just throwing shit in there for the sake of it. It doesn't even make sense. Why would she even do that? I mean, she says, oh, and she says a prodigy, right? You think she would have figured that out? That there's no point in using that form, but it's stupid. Anyway, to get back to what I was saying, on the topic of this video, yeah, I mean, so Goten and Trunks are outliers in right now as it stands. Outliers in what is actually the norm, has been the norm this whole time. Now you see someone who totally, like, kind of just is even further removed from the norm. Not only is she an outlier, all of a sudden she falls under this new kind of weird area, like this entirely new rule, and it's like, well, why? And there's no clear relation. There's no explanation. There's no real explanation or anything as to how this relates to anything, So right now, I see why people are saying, oh, we'll go to the Trunks, did it first, so yeah, no, they ruined it. But she also ruined it, and I think she ruined it more. Because she did something entirely different. And she did it with two other forms that I just mentioned. Like, what the hell? It's like she's using that for everything now. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. She even mentioned in this episode, teach me Super Saiyan. I wouldn't be surprised she learns it like an episode or two later. Just fucking because. Like, it's getting dumb, It's like they're just throwing shit at us for no reason. It's fan service. It's mindless clusterfuck bullshit. But yeah, the fact that Goten and Trunks did it, it's not any sort of real counter argument to the fact that she did it kind of being bullshit. It's not a real counter argument. It's sort of like people who say that Super sucks, it's terrible, blah blah blah, oh, it's inconsistent, blah blah blah. Oh, well, Z has been terrible, poorly written, inconsistent as well. So, or, you're only saying that now, and you're not saying about Z because of nostalgia or whatever. Like, Z wasn't that much better, so why are you saying it now? That's not a real counter argument to Super being bad. Just because Z had his problems, just because Goten and Trunks broke the rules, doesn't mean that Cauliflower should break the rules. Doesn't mean Super shouldn't be better, or at least as good as Z. Right now, they're both bad, or arguably worse. Super and Cauliflower, I'm saying. and that's a problem. People still have a right to call that out. You saying, "Oh, well, this is also bad," does not negate their first criticism. It's a poor argument, counter argument. And I see a lot of people doing this, and it's like, I don't think they know. They're not really arguing well. Like, they don't really know how to argue well against someone. That's not a real counter argument. It doesn't negate anything they said. So, you saying that, you're not adding anything. You're not really making any substantial point there. It's sort of like you kind of just like diverting attention. Like, you it's almost like you're just diverting attention to another issue. You're not addressing. You're not really addressing that issue. You just bring up another issue. Now you have two issues. You're not talking about one anymore. You're talking about two. Okay, so doesn't solve the first one. So anyway, yeah. That's all I wanted to say. Yeah, Super Saiyan was just Herbie and Super Saiyan was bullshit. So was Goten and Trunks, but I mean, at least at the time, they were just outliers in what was still the norm. Now you have a new rule in place that there's no way for us to accurately gauge, why it even makes sense. And I've seen the counter argument, oh, well, they're Universe 6 Saiyans, they're different. Okay, so tell me why Kaba meets Super Saiyan by following Universe 7 rules. Universe 7's rules. That's how he did it. And mind you, he tried to teach Cauliflower through the same method first, before all of a sudden just bringing that shit up about the tingly feeling in the back. I don't know why he did that. I don't know why that happened. I don't know why that became a thing. But the first thing he tried to do was make her mad, i.e. following the previously established rules. That's how he did it. So he's not different. He can do it, she can do it too. So that's not a good counter argument. It's like people just forget that happened, or they ignore it. But I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and just assume they forgot. But I don't know. I would say I don't use that argument anymore because it's a poor argument. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, a lot of problems, a lot of things that Super does contradicts its own rules. Yeah, I would say they both ruined it, but yeah, once Cauliflower did it, that just ruined the shit out of it. I'm not even really all that mad about it. It just that on its own. I'm more mad about the direction Super's been going. It's just the whole inconsistency and just bullshit. Especially this entire arc. Oh my god, so much bullshit. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Throwing it out there. Probably gonna make another criticism. I've been wanting to say for the longest. I mean, it's kind of past now, but I'm still gonna bring it up because God, I'm tired of people defending shit like defending bullshit like it's okay to have bullshit. I mean, like as a consumer, it's reasonable to not expect bullshit, to expect good quality, if not the best quality. I wouldn't say this falls under the line of good quality. I would say it's not good quality, it's bad quality. And if some of us are going to point it out as such, then that should be perfectly fine. I know a lot of us are watching it for free or whatever, but that still doesn't take away from the show still being bad in content. Just because we're watching it for free doesn't mean that the show's content is still poor. Doesn't mean we don't get to criticize it. It just means that we're watching it for free. It would be even worse if we're throwing money at it. So, that's not a great counter argument either. But I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend to necessarily I completely understand why the people say those things. all I know is that they do, and all I can do is either try to understand, like ask them, or just be like, I don't care that you said this. It still doesn't hold weight. And here's why. So yeah, there's that. Yeah. One other thing I'm gonna mention, or there's another topic I'm gonna mention, and we'll see if there's anything else I'm gonna say. All right, yo.